Alright, welcome to the last part of today's lesson, testing in the sim. In this case, we're going to take a look at some of the evidence that we're going to make for ourselves in order to understand better how the race meal affected Jordan's performance. To do this, we're going to use the sim. So the first thing you need to do is open the sim and follow the directions. So you have to decide between you and your partner which meal to test. You don't actually need a partner. You can actually do them both yourself. You can test the pre-race meal and then test this year's pre-race meal. But doing a partner will split the work in half and make it a little easier for you to do. Once you're done, you're going to use the same settings for both tests. You're going to load the previous meal and select the activity to run, which in this case for our cyclist is just cycling, and go ahead and start play. You're going to stop it when it reaches a jog, and if it never reaches a jog, realize that the time is more than 200 seconds. It's important to recognize this limit because it means that the person this person, Jordan Jones, can run for more than 200 seconds. That's good because he can run for a long time, then we can prove he's not cheating. You're going to repeat this 3 times to create 3 trials in order to solidify your test, and then compare with what your partner gets. And then when you're done, you're going to write the conclusions you and your partner can draw from the test card and evidence as to which one is better off for him. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and just do the first 2 trials of last year's pre-race meal so you can see what it would look like to go through these tests. So I'm going to go ahead and open the sim, and I've already selected the athlete's body, and I've tested it. So let me double check the meals. The meals are 2 corn and 4 sandwiches. 2 corn, 4 sandwiches. And because I can't be here all day, I'm going to set to 2 times. I'm going to make sure that he's running. Now remember, I'm going to pause this when this reaches a jog. So let's go ahead and see how long he can run. So far he's been going for 10 seconds. That's excellent. And he's still eating his corn. He's going for 35 seconds. As you can see, he's running for quite a while, and that makes sense because he's eating a lot of corn, which has starch. And the starch breaks into glucose, and the glucose provides more energy. That's why we see all this cellular respiration going on the dial here. You've had a chance to work with that yourself in the past when you were looking in on modeling an athlete's body a couple days ago. Still running. So this fellow is actually doing quite well in his race. He's moving along, and there's our pause point. So around 120 time units. So let's go ahead and see what it wants us to record. So the length of time that he was running, I'm going to say about 120, less than 120, let's say 119. Now, you could probably tell more easily because you can pause and rewind the video, so you can tell how off I am, but my guess is about 119. So now I'm going to reset the simulation, and normally I'd do it all over again to make sure that I had more trials so I could get a better idea. We learned about that in the previous lesson when we looked at having only 1 trial was not very good evidence. But to show you how the second one works, I'm going to set that one up instead. So trial 1 for 4 corn and 2 fish. So I need to set the activity level to run. I need to have 4 corn and 2 fish. Let me double check to make sure I follow the instructions correctly. 4 corn, 2 fish. And then I'm going to go ahead and play this and see how long I can run. Remember, right now the time to beat is 119 seconds. So let's see what happens here. I predict that this one will actually run a little quicker because this person will get more energy from the glucose that he gets from the starch inside the corn. Let's see if that's actually true, though. We're starting to get there, and we can see that we're at about 50. And here's where our corn runs out. And there's our energy shortage. We began jogging. So as you can see, that one actually came on quite a bit quicker, which means that something was definitely helping him more from last year's pre-race than from this year's pre-race. You would go ahead and try 1 or 2 more trials to verify that, because this seems like a pretty low result. So have 2 more to make sure it's not just some weird coincidence. And then once you've finished all 3 of those on this side and on this side, you're done. You can click hand in and get your points for the day.